Hello, welcome back to Tank Talks. This is Ian and back in my house again. And here we have the, I like to call it the Lilliputian Reef because everything in here is extra tiny. So the last time we checked in, this was empty pretty much. And you won't believe actually how many fish are there in here. I'll let you guess and I'll mention the stocking at the end. But it's kind of how this tank came about. I saw a listing for this IM drop-off tank for $100 Sing online, and I'm like, that's pretty cheap because these tanks, when they were retailing, they were like $600-700. It was not cheap. And I was like, okay, why not? It's a cool kind of scape, and I like funky looking tanks, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So picked it up, added a back spec jump light. Actually, this was at the previous Nano, the Interrupters Nano, but I've since put a Radeon XR15 there and brought this here. I had a MP10 lying around because it wouldn't fit the waterfall tank because the glass was too thick. So it's here now, it's the only thing that's powering it. There is a small return at the back, small, I think BB Mega skimmer, and your media, your max spec bio balls, can be pure elite, that kind of stuff all inside. So the rocks were also less lower from the previous project, kind of cobbled them together, and here we are. So, this is more of a kind of a themed reef, I think. I wanted to put little tiny things in here. So there are 4 Gressingeri gobies, which I don't think we'll be able to see today, but I have videos of them. They're really small and they're like 2 inches, maybe, no, 1.5 inches, really small. And you see them once in a while and they kind of don't swim in the open, they just kind of scoop on the ground and they kind of eat the sand, they pick at little things. And then we have 2 Halfreechy gobies. These are the ones that kind of stand still, they makes it look like the tank actually has fish in it. So they are the biggest fish in the tank. There are 2 blue-banded pipe fishes. They're really small, really cute. They eat the pods and the copy pods that we put in. And what else? There are 2 tiger tail gobies, which I of course cannot find again. You see them flash out to eat the food and disappear. It's kind of interesting. And we have 2 Yasha gobies. I bought them as a pair. Like you could tell it was a pair from the black dot on the suction cup fin. One of them hides right here, another one hides right there. Maybe they had a divorce, I don't know what's going on, but that's how it is. You may notice some of the corals here were in the fish bowl before. This bubble-like Sinarina was being picked on by the multibar, so now it's here. The Micromusa pacifica was also being picked on by the multibar, and I wanted to save it, so it's now here. And so the plates. The plates were also being packed away. They look a bit better, but I hope for the best here. We have some zoas here and a bunch of torches. So the idea here will be to fill it out with torches and a nice bushy tree. Might have to remove this sea fan. We have this pipe organ corals, clove polyps, just kind of all here. They grow kind of slow, so I might kind of flush it out to the rest, buy a couple more. I found these really cute looking macroalgae, and they do look nice. And I found out there was some form of caulerpa, and I've been removing them when I can to kind of keep it tame, but it's removing nutrients great. I also tried not dosing as much phyto in this tank just to see if the ugly state situation would come, because I didn't have that in the Nano, I didn't have that in the bowl. I want to try here, and true enough, there's a lot more hair algae, even though I don't feed this nearly as much. And even though there are a lot of fish, the bioload is actually, I don't believe it's that high. And there's one more thing, there's a tiny little flame angel. So I bought 3 flame angels, 2 are in QT to go into the waterfall. And I wanted to build a harem, but this guy is too small. So he's like half the size of the Halfreechy, you can imagine that, the flame is tiny. But he's great, he gives the tank enough movement, he goes around, he eats, he pecks, and when he grows out, we'll move him then. Another nice thing here is the rainbow trachea, really cool looking thing. And sadly I do have some aptasia. I think peppermint shrimp are in order. Been doing a bunch of research regarding peppermint shrimp and what is more reef safe than others. I think the Wurdermani, L. Wurdermani is the one that we're kind of looking for. So I have to ask the shop, say what was on the kind of import form. Is that the right Latin name? Because sometimes you get some that are not as friendly. Either way, peppermint shrimps are not 100% reef safe, but we'll figure it out. I just want to get rid of aptasia. But yeah, I set one little multi-frag at the back. We're gonna maybe put more. But so far, this has been pretty easy to maintain. Water changes maybe once every other week. Just a pail, like 10, like a 10-liter pail maybe. It's a 20-gallon tank, so there's not much to do. And I'm not really keeping anything that's too demanding. So yeah, the fish are great. The pipefish going great, and we'll let you see more of the close-up shots. So let me know what you think, what I think I could add, and cheers.